Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater, Mike the mariner, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. And the Chinese watch us from above in their balloon.
Well, they
And,
like the show.
Is that what it is?
Over here, they're monitoring us.
Of course, that makes total sense. Absolutely.
Their
It'll be
internet
interesting.
May not be as good. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They'll be. I'm sure they'll be. Definitely disappointed, but once they actually tune us in, but yeah, I don't know. The balloon's supposedly going over water at some point, and if you're a boater out on the water, look to the skies. Maybe you'll see a big, white orb floating above you, and if so, you can, say they're number one or whatever you want to do. I wouldn't advise shooting your flares at them. But,
No, it won't go high enough. You can moon them.
okay, you can, a moon to a moon, because it kind of looks like a moon up there in the sky, I guess. That's a typical American greeting, I guess. But I don't know. It's kind of nuts.
Why do you think it would go from west to east? Do you know why?
Trade winds.
There
Okay.
you go. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are prevailing winds.
The
Okay.
prevailing winds go
So-
from west to east.
So what are you saying? Sailors can relate to this more than anything there, Barry? Is that what you're alluding to, or what?
They could. As a matter of fact, my daughter had asked what the doldrums were, and I gave her a little bit of knowledge about that. And she
Well, of course,
understood it
I know
quite
what they are, but go ahead and inform the rest of the audience.
doldrums are.
It's an Irish rock band.
Whoa, wait.
No, seriously? No.
That's what he sounds like when he talks, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he may
Yeah,
have
turn
had
your
it up
gain
a little
down
loud.
just a tad there, Patrick. You're like blasting us out, but that's okay.
No, the doldrums are down near the equator. It's where you'll get a lot of areas where the winds just kind of die down.
Ah,
Sailors would get caught in the doldrums, but
mhm.
if the current was flowing, they'd eventually get pulled out of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So up
for
there in the
sailors,
skies,
it's a problem. Yeah.
yeah, it's no different than sailing the seven seas up there in the skies, and that's what that balloon is riding on, the latest current up there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Okay.
Barry, you know why they call it the doldrums, right? I mean, why they actually chose that term?
I think it had something to do with they sat around and did nothing.
No,
Huh.
because the S word was already taken.
Oh, okay. Why not?
What?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have been in the S.
Yeah. Yeah, just leave it lie there, Barry. We'll
No,
fill
I
you
gotta
in
think
after
about
the
this.
show.
This is a
Yeah.
family show. This is a
Exactly.
family show.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Anyhow,
Well, despite being under surveillance, we're going to continue on and navigate the latest boating news and information. Mike the Mariner's been out on his boat. We'll get an update from him in just a bit. Also, we got the Miami International Boat Show, or I should say the Discover Boating Miami International Boat Show, happening, just about a week, a little over a week. And Patrick is already
excited.
depressed. I don't know.
yeah, I know.
Listen, and we talked a little bit about this last week.
Yeah.
In addition to my main responsibilities at my employer, where
Mhm.
I manage the yacht portfolio. Okay,
Right.
that's first and foremost. I also oversee the service department.
Okay.
And the service department also is tasked with boat show setup and breakdown, photo
Mhm.
shoots, magazine tests, getting new boats ready if we're doing a in Florida water delivery, things of that nature. So this very small, very elite team of people that I have the honor of working with for the last 2 weeks have been just full hands-on Miami Boat Show. I've got two 53-foot semi-trailers that we are working with. And that's just to get that's not even talking about the boats that are going. I'm just talking about the staging, the stairs, the carpet, all of that stuff that's got to get packed, unpacked, repacked before we can even get it down there. So my crew is leaving early a.m. Monday morning, heading down to Miami to begin the move-in process.
Yeah. So you're excited. I hear the anticipation in your voice. Or is that mild annoyance? I don't know.
It's not annoyance, Greg. It's just I'm juggling an awful lot. Because this week or this upcoming week also kicks off our on-site factory service school, for which I am heavily involved with as well. Again, as I manage the yacht portfolio for the factory, a big part of that service school, of course, are the yachts and the systems on board and things like that. And as fast as the technology has been changing, trying to keep up with that and make sure that what we present at service school is still relevant, and within a matter of days.
But throw this manual out. We got to get the
Right.
version 5.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it is unreal how quickly, not just the technology stuff, but even like the updates that are coming through, like for the Garmins, for the glass cockpits from Volvo Penta, and making sure that customers, and then they want you to pay the warranty costs. Like they're claiming warranty. Well, the dealer had to update my Garmin, and they charged me an hour. It's like, well, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you update your phone on your own? Yeah. Well, it's about as complicated as that.
Got
But
it.
yeah, there's an awful lot going on, and the kickoff for the Discover Boating Miami International Boat Show that runs February 15th through the 19th.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
we got some time. I thought it was.
Oh, you have? I have no time. I am out of time. My team is out of time. It is all hands on. And at this point, we get down there, we start unpacking, we start setting up. If they forgot something, because I've got a special place reserved for anybody who forgot something.
Oh.
And pretty much at that point, despite all your best prep and effort, you got to do some stuff on the fly, because despite our best efforts to make sure that we've got everything covered, things come up that, hey, nobody told us that there was a support pillar
in the middle of your
in the
display
middle
area.
of
Right.
the booth.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the drawing. That actually happened one year.
Go to Home
This is-
Depot, get a bunch of bricks and stack them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a big effort. How many people are typically involved in that to set up your displays?
Yeah, just your
and place
manufacturer.
boats?
How many people you got, Captain Patrick?
Hey, you guys are going to lose your minds.
I'm going to say 10
10.
max. Is that right?
Five.
I'm
Five.
going to say.
Five.
I was going to
See?
say 6. Okay.
And like in a
5
couple of
people.
years, it'll be 1 and a couple robots. But regardless, they have to multitask. You got to roll with it. Everybody's, it's all hands on deck, but you don't have a huge staff to work with, right, Patrick? And everybody has to do what they got to do, I guess, huh?
It's not so much that you need a huge staff. When you start the move-in process, there's only so much you can do at any one time. So you could, if you went down with 10 or 15 people, 7 of them are going to be standing around,
yeah.
waiting for something to do, because you can only get so many people into that area as the boats are being set and as you start to bring in the staging
Right.
and set all of that up.
Barry the
Do
boater,
they
what
give
say
like a
you?
win-
So you have a procedure that I'm sure it's written down somewhere of what boats, where they're going to go, and you get those in place, and then you bring your staging, and that's the next part of it, and then the carpet or whatever, because
Yeah,
Greg is going to check the carpet, of course.
We have a floor plan, so believe it or not, carpet's down first.
Really?
Yeah.
What keeps
Remember-
that clean?
Vacuums?
People. Oh,
Actually, when you wind up going through the boat show, you'll see once the carpets go down, a lot of them will be covered up with that blue clingy
the plastic, yeah.
visqueen type stuff
Mhm.
to keep that carpet as clean as possible. And there are some manufacturers that insist, for whatever reason, and I won't name names, maybe my employer, maybe not, on using white carpet.
Oh, well.
And I don't mean just white carpet. I mean like Arctic white carpet.
Yeah, it matches the balloons up in the sky. Maybe that's why they're here. They're kind of watching us see how we set up for the Super Bowl of boat shows in Miami here in a week or so. All right. I doubt it. But we do have more coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Welcome aboard. I will be your captain. You'll be my scallywags. I don't know what that means, but you will be them. And here's how we play.
Thank you for your attention and welcome aboard.
Let's go.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the Boater, Mike the Mariner, rounding out the crew. All right, I think we have solved a riddle of this balloon floating above the U.S. They're spying on us as we set up for the Discover Boating Miami International Boat Show because it is such a spectacle. It's such an event. It's literally like setting up a portable city, and they probably just want to know how the heck do they do it every year, turn something from nothing into such a big thing, and that's why they're watching us.
Unbelievable theory.
Yeah,
but it's all
our working
indoors,
theory.
So how do they do that?
It's not all indoors. You're a liar.
No, the part that's outdoors, you want to spend the whole day there because it's going to take a quarter of the day just to get there.
Yeah, well, that's that, and that's probably what they want to see. How do these folks do this? How these boaters do this? That's probably while they're here, and that's why I don't work in government, by the way. But it's just our working theory here at the World of Boating. You can take it for what it's worth. All right, other boating news and information we're going to get to in just a bit, but I do want to check in with Mike the Mariner and find out where he's been. I assume it has been boating. Is that right, Mike?
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little.
The past couple of weeks. Yeah, we took Silhouette out last weekend, had a great time, took some friends with us, and just did a normal cruise to exercise the engines. Hadn't had much of a chance to do that in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
But did that, and we also took Stinger. That's the little yellow Craig cat that we have. And
so that's it. You've actually named your dinghy Stinger.
Yes.
I think that's news. I don't remember you saying that before. Did you do that before and I just blocked it out, or no?
Well, we haven't put a name on the boat yet, but we call it Stinger, and I don't know if you can do a ceremony, the homage to Poseidon for a dinghy, but
I think you should. Yeah,
maybe we should.
Any reason to buy a bottle of booze? I mean, hey, there's one.
Why wouldn't you name it with your boat named Silhouette? Why wouldn't you name your dinghy Shadow?
Hey,
Greg, what would you name your dinghy? Besides
I'll
Stinger.
leave that to my wife. And we're just gonna
Participle.
leave that. Hey, now, quit it.
Hanging
Dangling
participle.
Oh, just stop
Dangling
it.
participle.
Okay, but why Stinger? What you just like the
Because
way that
it's
sounded, or what?
It's yellow. So,
Okay.
you know,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We
Yeah.
bought this one. We were actually going to order a different color scheme,
Mhm.
and we were going to have to wait 6 months. We
He was going to get a
the
brown
factory-
boat.
Yeah.
well, the factory demonstrator was available. It happened to be yellow, so we decided to buy it,
Mhm.
and then we were going to trade it in when the one we wanted to order came in. But the fact is, now that we have it, we kind of like the yellow one. So,
Mhm.
and it just looks like a bumblebee, so we
Sure.
called it Stinger.
All
You
right.
could have called it Bumblebee.
Yeah.
You could have called it Urine. What else?
Jeez.
Yeah, you coulda-
Now we know who not to ever go to when it comes to naming boats. Dear
Yeah.
God, Barry. Wow.
Could have called it Colonel Mustard.
Okay.
Colonel
I think-
Mustard.
That would be cool.
And
Just
it
stick
has
with
red trim, so
your
mustard
your
ketchup.
gut, your
Yeah.
first impression there. I think you got
Don't
it.
ask us.
So
Colleen
silhouette
named it,
and
so
Stinger.
it-
Okay,
it-
well, she
yeah.
has taste,
I-
unlike the rest of our crew.
You sure
So-
she was talking about the boat then?
Oh, quit it. Just stop.
Yes, sir.
All right. But you guys had some good outings on both vessels, I guess, over the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yes, we've had a great couple of weeks, and just really enjoying getting back into boating after all the hurricane mess, and the flooding. Kept us in the harbor for 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's just good to be back out again.
That all has subsided though now, right? Officially?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
I was
river's
out
back
there
back
in
to
your
normal.
neck of the woods last night, actually. I didn't get
Oh.
out to the water, but the area was popping, and I was out there with some friends celebrating a birthday. So it looked
Well,
like.
come on back. We're going to be here tonight. so
Well,
we'll be
yeah,
rolling.
I got to recover from last night first. So
Ah.
let me do that, and then we'll look at that possibility.
He does take a nap in the
Oh,
afternoon now.
quiet.
Well,
miss.
you do. I have photos of it.
Yeah. Oh, Barry's still recovering from COVID from last week, but he's
No, I'm
he's
doing a lot better.
He's maintained some of his sexy voice still.
Yes, I have.
Oh, look at that! Wow.
Lou Rawls.
Wow.
You'll
look at
have
that.
to,
We
we'll
have
have
Lou
to,
Rawls
we'll have
on
to
the
shoot
show.
another commercial now.
Miss Barry the boater's probably digging the new sound of Barry, but once again, we'll leave that off the air 'cause that'll make everyone even more uncomfortable. Let's talk about the latest boating news and information that we have to share with our passengers today. Patrick, what do we have to
Well,
chat about today?
Hot off the press wires, if you will. Are you familiar with the Columbia River in the state of Washington, Greg?
I have heard of this.
Okay,
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a river certainly known for its calm waters.
Hmm.
It's easy entry
It's not
coming
what I
into.
recall. Yeah.
Oh no,
you
no,
okay?
it is never a bad day coming in or out of the Columbia River.
Okay.
Crossing the
western
bar?
Washington.
Wait, Patrick, before you get to the story, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this
You're
the one
wrong.
where the
Oh, you got
where-
more.
Thank you. Where the Coast Guard takes their students out there and practices
Yes.
sort of submerging their boats and bringing them back
Yes.
out or something
Funny
like
you
that?
should
Exactly
mention
what it
that.
Okay.
Okay.
Funny you should mention that. Yeah, when they get rolled.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's it. That's it.
Now, before we move on further into this story, Greg, are you familiar with a 1980s movie called The Goonies?
I have heard of this one too. Yes.
Okay, now you're probably wondering, what is Captain Patrick talking about? The Goonies.
Wouldn't be the
and
first time. Yeah.
The
but-
Columbia River.
Okay.
So,
hmm
there's this gentleman that decides that he's going to go visit the house, the Goonies house, in Oregon.
All right.
And he's going to videotape himself placing a dead fish on the porch and then dancing around.
Okay.
Is
This
that in
same
the movie?
gentleman,
Is that
this-
a movie thing? I guess. Or
I
what?
have no idea. All I know is the
Alright.
guy's from British Columbia, so he's Canadian.
That ain't.
This-
That's.
This plan sounds questionable already. So.
Mm.
All right, so 35-year-old Jericho Labonte.
okay.
So authorities started searching for him this past Wednesday after he left this dead fish on the porch of the Goonies house in Astoria, Oregon. Then, fast forward, and the Coast Guard gets an emergency call. Here's the boat that he stole, and he's in bad shape just outside Columbia River. and the boat is getting tossed. He's out. He's got no power. The 2 rescue boats come in that Barry had mentioned just a short while ago, and it was so bad they couldn't get close enough to get him off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go to World of Boating on Facebook or worldofboating.com, you'll see the video attached to this story. And there's a point where the helicopter comes in and the rescue diver goes into water. Now, on the video, you see the rescue diver. He is off the just off the swim platform, still in the water. And this guy, Jericho, is on the swim platform of the boat. And you see the wave coming. You see the wave coming up on the port beam. And it hits and rolls the boat. And when I say rolls, I mean it takes it over and under and lets it pop back up, bridge first. And he gets tossed into the water. And they do make the rescue and bring him on board. But, man, what a video.
Okay, great video, but we still don't know why he left a dead fish on the porch. I guess we'll find out next on The World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater, Mike the mariner, rounding out the crew. All right, so this guy goes to the Goonies' house, leaves a dead fish, then goes out on his boat, gets stranded on the Columbia River, and bad weather, and the Coast Guard, I don't know, maybe it's Karma, comes back, and as soon as they're getting ready to airlift him off the boat, a wave comes and rocks the boat, or did this happen before he left the fish, and that's why he did such a dumb thing?
No,
because he got a hit on the head or something, Patrick. What happened?
This was after.
Okay.
And it was not a particularly stormy or rough day on the Columbia River. It was pretty much average, is my understanding.
Yeah, but rough enough.
30-foot waves, average.
You know, and he, again, and here's where it gets even weirder. This boat that he was on, he stole it.
Ah,
okay?
Of course.
However, it hadn't yet been reported stolen. So he, for whatever reason, he runs out of fuel or something happens. The boat is literally dead in the water, but at probably one of the worst possible places. And the heroic, I would say, I mean, the entire every member of the Coast Guard that responded to that, whether in rescue boats or the helicopter, heroic without a doubt. But the rescue diver that went into the water to get him, Petty Officer First Class Branch Walton of Greenville, South Carolina, this was his first rescue.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, when you watch the video, you see him again just off the port edge of the swim platform. He's in the water, and you could see where he's swimming towards it, and then he sees a wave,
coming.
And I think he's making some hand gestures to the guy. He's already on the swim platform.
Middle finger, maybe.
And
no, more like duck.
And I'm telling you, that boat gets it. It didn't just it got tossed. I mean, it wasn't a gentle roll at all. I mean, it got lifted, turned, end over end, and then, back up in the water. Now,
that's what you get for not liking the Goonies, you idiot. Is that what he said or shouted?
No, here's where it gets even stranger. So Labonte was transported to a hospital, but the facility, the hospital, they had already released him when they saw the videos and the photos from the Coast Guard. The police hadn't even found this guy yet. So this guy, nobody knows where he is.
This is the dead fish porch guy from the Goonies house. Why didn't you hold him in his room longer?
So at no point did anybody connect any of the dots until afterwards, as like he's doing a Kevin Spacey from The Usual Suspects, Kaiser Soze, walking out of the police station, with a limp, and all of a sudden he starts walking normal, and then he's running for the hills or back to British Columbia, where he's also wanted, by the way. And it's just a really odd story at all these things that were connected to it. Interesting, certainly, but the video is
amazing.
Yeah, it's really chilling, actually, seeing the power. Again, if you're not familiar with the Columbia River, just the power in that area, especially with these waves. And again, where Coast Guard will go out and train, and these guys went out, and even when they don't have to, they do it anyway. Certainly, hats off to that whole rescue team, and again, the rescue swimmer.
Well, and the crazy Canadian for giving us such great material to work with today.
He was arrested later that evening at Astora Warming Center.
For what? What for putting a dead fish on a porch or
for
stealing a boat?
He was wanted for a lot of things, but he was at a warming center where people, if they don't have a warm house to go to, that's where they ended up.
Well, just think about
a warming center.
This guy made a series of horrendous decisions, but
who likes the Goonies?
Okay, so
it's so 80s,
here's the thing,
right?
It is a little bit of an entertaining story, but think about the lives he put in danger.
Oh yeah,
in this whole not only his life because he's an idiot and he went over the bar at the Columbia River in a boat that was clearly
how about all the people that want to go to the Goonies house and now go there and go, why is there this rank dead fish smell all over? Dear God.
Here are the charges. He was wanted on theft 1, endangering another person, unauthorized use of a vehicle, criminal mischief 2. Additionally, he was wanted as a fugitive out of British Columbia for criminal harassment, mischief, and failure to comply with officers.
Okay.
He's going to get extradited back to British Columbia. He'll be found guilty and he'll be sentenced to eat a stack of pancakes without maple syrup.
No, that's terrible if you don't have pancakes. Wow. You need maple syrup.
But we still have no idea what was his beef with the Goonies house.
I don't think it was a beef. I think it was going to be a
fish.
YouTube star.
Okay.
What part of the story didn't you hear?
Right.
Well, yeah, but why?
A haddock, maybe? I don't know. Whitefish from up north? I don't know. This is crazy. Well, these crazy Canadians, God bless them. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't do what that guy does, I guess is the moral of the story. And if you do, just make sure it gets all the coverage like this did, so we have material to work with.
Or better yet, check the ocean before you go out.
Okay. Yeah, pick a different river to steal a boat on.
Well, you saw the other one I had was, always know how to swim before you steal a boat.
Okay. That's one of your top rules of the road.
Yeah, we had that with the wave runner that was broken down out in the middle of a river in Florida, and the guy didn't know how to swim. If you recall, the officers told him to swim over. He said, "I can't." And he said, "What kind of person steals a wave runner who can't swim?"
One that wants to stay on top of it, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. All right. Well, that's one. Do we got any other stories that we want to share that might have a little bit more moral lesson that we can learn as a boater, you think?
Really? Or? We're supposed to be doing stories with moral lessons.
Well,
this is a boating show. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
All right. So, Greg, this one I figured you probably saw because I know you peruse the scuba diving related stories and things like that. So, did you see the story about the 8-year-old boy and the Great Barrier Reef?
Which one? There's been a bunch, but yeah, 8-year-old boy, Great Barrier Reef. That narrows it down to what? Yeah. But what happened to him?
He was out spearfishing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he's coming up on board the boat, coming up out of the water.
Yep.
And he lays the fish up on the deck, and a shark comes up between him and the boat.
Yep.
The good thing he was still in the water.
Right.
Yeah, because my pants would have been wet. Because
well, they're going to be wet. You're in the water. They might turn a little brown color.
I'll bet that got his attention though.
Yeah, it's pretty common for spear fishermen. You spear fish. That's when the sharks are going to come if they're in the area.
Hey, they just shot down the balloon.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
See?
Wait, Greg, look up. It may be landing in your backyard.
Hey, the World of Boating studio just turned into a tent. How cool is this? Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. We'll monitor that. Find out what's going on there too. But when it comes to what your question is, am I aware of this type of behavior, or what are you saying, Patrick?
I didn't know if you had seen this particular story, because when this shark comes up, again, he's hanging on to the ladder railing with his right arm extended all the way up, and he lifts the fish up with his left arm and tosses it up on the deck, and then this shark comes right up and gets him like under the armpit.
Yeah, well, they do that. I mean, there's a lot of videos of sharks harassing the spear fishermen, or actually it's the other way around. We'll talk more about it next. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network. You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I'm really excited to check out these beautiful waters with you in a really cool way.
All right.
See that boat over there?
Yeah.
I think we're going to sail on it today.
Oh, my God. Yes.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Captain Patrick, Barry, the boater. Mike, the mariner, rounding out the crew. I don't know. I was thinking the Chinese were floating that balloon over the U.S. to monitor the setup of the Miami International Boat Show. Maybe they were, intrigued on the latest season of The Bachelor, and they wanted to see what was going on there. That could be it too. But hey, no, it doesn't matter anymore. They evidently took it down. Is that right, Mike? They just shot it down.
They did. They shot the balloon down off the coast of South Carolina, and I think it's a little premature because this show is not over yet.
Yeah,
they haven't heard the whole show yet. So
they probably heard enough. It's like, all right, good, take it out.
Oh yeah, they
We don't care.
The Chinese said, "Could you please shoot
Please just shoot it down."
This is a waste. Okay.
We can't take this anymore.
All right. Well, we'll take full credit, I guess, or blame, depending on how you look at it. All right. Well, Patrick brings up this story about spear fishermen getting harassed by sharks.
It was an 8-year-old kid.
Well, it'll happen to any spear fisherman. I mean, that's the thing, when you're scuba diving or free diving, as this kid probably was doing, because most of the time when they're going for spear fishing, they're not on scuba. You just got to understand, when you spear a fish, that's like the dinner bell for any sharks in the area. And it's very common. There's so many videos. There's actually I actually just watched one right before the show today, which was not this 8-year-old you're talking about. It was another guy, but it was the same kind of scenario. He spears a tuna, he grabs hold of it, and he gets kind of tangled up in the line because he didn't get a kill shot on the yellowfin tuna, and a couple sharks came up and started biting the tuna and coming after him. And I mean, they do that because they look at you as a competitor for the fish, and they know if they don't rush in quick and get that fish, they're not going to get it. It's ingrained in their DNA after millions of years, so
it happens in Tampa Bay a lot. My dad was fishing over on the west coast of Florida about 5-6 years ago for tarpon.
Right.
And he had a tarpon almost to the boat, and a hammerhead hit that tarpon and took half of it. So all he got was the head and the gills.
Right. I mean, they're
pretty amazing.
They will come after you.
The least dangerous in the shark family.
No, not true. They got teeth like all the other sharks.
I know, Greg.
Their mouth looks smaller than the other
Well,
sharks.
that's true. But the reality is they won't bother you as long as you're not wearing like a meat necklace or spearing fish and attaching them to your weight belt or something.
Got to cancel my order for a meat necklace.
Yeah. Generally you're okay
Damn it.
in the ocean. Even despite that, this week it came out that Florida has 7 of the deadliest beaches in the world or something. Some big press release came out about that. It's just hogwash.
Yeah, beaches don't kill people. People kill beaches.
Well, true. Yeah.
People kill
okay.
beaches.
I don't know if that's where
You ever
I was
walk on
gonna
a
go
beach
there.
with all the cigarette butts and trash, Mike?
Well, yeah, but their criteria for
Yeah.
claiming these beaches were the deadliest was BS shark attacks, which are mostly like surfers getting nipped in cloudy
Yes.
water, and then hurricanes, which I don't know. That's not necessarily the beach's fault. That
Yeah.
and then I forget there was one other third criteria, but I just thought it was kind of a nonsensical rating system of how
I
they
think the
came
other
up
one
with
had
this.
to do with topless beaches and older gentlemen.
Well, that would
in their
move you up
50s and
to
60s
that'd make
having
you
heart attacks.
Hey, wait a
well,
minute.
okay,
Whoa, 50s
maybe I
and
didn't
60s.
look at-
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah,
What
come on.
topless beaches?
I'm in my
Where are we?
50s. That doesn't
Hey,
make me old.
dude, radical to the max. eh?
Oh boy.
That
All
doesn't
right.
make me old.
Yeah, so you can avoid the beaches. Just go out on your boat, and you'll be better off, I guess, according to that press release. There's so much stuff going on. I mean,
There is. And there's stuff going up in the Northeast too, Greg, up in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Pancakes.
they are debating the use of wake boats. Surprise, surprise.
All right.
Now, you've heard me get on my soapbox. I hate it when they have non-boat people write articles about boating
Okay.
because it just aggravates me how they get so much stuff wrong, or they don't understand the terminology, so the article comes off sounding way worse than it should be. In this particular instance, they describe these boats as typically high-powered water ski boats with large automotive engines. Incorrect. They do not have automotive engines in them. Those are not taken out of cars and put in boats. That is incorrect. And then they put the huge waves allow people behind the boat to surf, and they put surf in quotation marks because, well, I got news for you. That's what they're doing. They're surfing without a rope or line connection. Now, the big issue up in Vermont, and one of the things they're looking at is the fact that you will only be able to put your boat in one body of water for the boating season. You will not be able to move it out of that body of water. And this is due to the internal. I saw Mike's head snapped around. This has to do with the internal ballast systems in the boats, and they're worried about
those the fish, the snails, whatever critters are being
the
pulled in.
invasive species
Yeah.
that could get into those
Oh,
systems
okay.
and then be transported into another body of water, and those are introduced.
Well, that's where the Canadians come in. They hide in those ballast tanks and invade in, and then leave fish in porches and stuff like that. Forget it.
Okay.
That's how
Patrick doesn't know
how
what
does that
to
ball
say.
bounce?
I
I don't
don't
even know
know.
how to follow that one.
Starting to wonder about Barry. I think he still has some symptoms of COVID from last week.
The COVID
You can
fog.
tell by my
Some
voice.
lingering
So,
symptoms.
Mike, when you're out on the water in your yacht, and you're up on the river somewhere, and you're gonna stay out for the night.
Yes.
How many anchors do you set?
Here, just one. I don't need to do the spread. The coves we go to are fully protected, and we really don't swing. So, we can, and it's a
Well,
soft
your
bottom,
lifestyle
so-
notwithstanding.
not that kind of swinging. I'm talking about swinging on the anchor.
Hey,
line.
remember,
on
he
the
is
weekend.
older.
Yeah.
He is older.
Tell you, it's a heart attack
No,
waiting to
we
happen.
yeah, I don't really have to do multiple anchors where we are because the currents are always going in the same direction.
Right.
And the coves that we go to Butcher's Bend a lot, is fully surrounded by tall trees, and so
You're good to go.
just one.
All right. So
Yep.
what's your point then, Patrick?
Well, up in Panama City, they said it's a small boat. Again, it's not a small boat. It's fair size. I'd call it a yacht. Got wedged underneath the 4th Street Bridge this past Thursday. The boat was docked at the Masalina Bayou, and I guess it wasn't like really. It couldn't have been docked. It had to have been moored, is I think what they meant to say, because they had a single anchor set, and due to wind and or current, probably wind with the storms that came through, it started dragging the anchor and got wedged under the bridge.
It was probably a 9-pound Walmart anchor.
No, I don't even. I'm betting coffee can.
Yeah, that could work too. You know,
Filled with cement?
Yes.
Yeah,
I have seen those.
So it's
I
a
used
high
to have
class
one of
yacht,
those.
is what you're saying. Okay. So the moral of that story is you should do too, unless you're very, very familiar with the area where you're planning to drop anchor.
Whenever I've gone out and I've stayed out like that, 2 at a minimum, 3, and even if I'm not, maybe I know I don't need it, but it gives me the chance to practice the skill of setting anchors off of 3 points and holding the boat fast and
not getting wet.
And even at that, it's not a guarantee, especially like where Mike is. Mike, I'm sure, has been up on, I know I've been transiting to St. John's, and a storm rolls in, and it's just blowing you every way.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be swinging around when you're especially sleeping.
Leave
stuff
Mike's
like that.
lifestyle out of it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I want to know why Barry was getting wet, but that's another issue that I think we probably should leave alone for now. All right, till next time, remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a motor.
Safe boating, everyone.
Come back here, you barnacle-bitten swab!
World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.